You're frustrated. You're sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. You know that things absolutely have to change, and they have to change right now. You are just feeling like something has to move. And my message for you in this video is this frustration that you're feeling is actually a very powerful emotion that we can use as a tool to drive us forward, to move us forward to the sort of life that we know we deserve and that we know we can create for ourselves. So stay tuned for 6 tips on using frustration to actually drive you forward to a better tomorrow. So something that I'm going to be doing probably in all of our videos is starting with a little bit of music. Music can really impact our emotions, how we show up to things. And right now, you're feeling frustrated. You're like, I can't really cuss this, it's YouTube, but otherwise, this stuff has got to change. And to do that, I want you right now, it might seem a little bit silly, I want you to stand up. I want you to be in that sort of gladiator position where you're like, F this. This shit is changing right now. No more will I settle for a person who I know I can show up differently, for the ways that things are just not showing up in my life in the way that I want. So feel that. Feel thunder before the lightning. All right, so let's get into what we can use, what we can do with our frustration for it to, rather than be something that is debilitating and is holding us back, it can be something that's a very powerful tool for us to move forward in our lives. That sounds pretty exciting, right? So, tip number 1. Tip number 1, take it to a level 50. I want you to take this frustration that you're feeling, the lower standards, the settling, whatever is happening that's leading to this frustration in your life, I want you to take it to a level 50. And I want you to think, if I don't change things, and if I just escalate and escalate and escalate, what is the worst thing that can happen if I don't take responsibility and take charge of my life right now? So I want you to, still standing, to really maybe close your eyes and think about all the consequences of you not making a change, of you not stepping up at a different level. I want you to think of, maybe it's you're not exercising, and so the taking it to a level 50 could be like, maybe you get this like debilitating disease that would be terrible for you, right? Like, will you stand for that? Absolutely not. But for us to make action, for us to move, for us to make a change, the pain needs to be real enough. And if you're just sort of uncomfortable, you're gonna sit in that discomfort maybe for a while. So if we want things to change, I want you to make it really real for yourself. What are all of the consequences of you not making a change in your life right now? Really feel it. Really get angry. Be like, no more. This shit is changing. This will be no more. I am tired. I'm sick and tired of being tired. I am gonna make some big changes starting right now. Tip number 2 is make a decision. Now that you have thought about all of the negative consequences, all of the things that could come into your life that you are no longer willing to settle for, I want you to make a decision right now that this is going to change. And it changes starting with you, and it changes starting right now, baby. Starts right now. And I want you to do something. I want you to take immediate action, whether that be get on the phone. Like if you are tired of not hitting your sales quota, go call 50 people right now. If you are tired of, not exercising, get those shoes on, go out right now. Maybe call a gym and set up a membership. Call someone, set something on the calendar. But I want you to take action, even if it's small action. I want you to take immediate action right now that's gonna move you forward, so we are no longer in this place where you're like, oh, I'm frustrated, right? Like, I know things need to change. Well, change it. Use frustration as the emotion that's gonna drive you forward to say, no more will I stand for this. No more will I settle for less than I know that I can deserve and that I can bring to the table. So make a decision right now. Pause the video, go call that person, email the thing that needs to be emailed out, buy the course, do what needs to be done. Take some immediate action right now to move your life forward and to say to yourself that this is changing, and it changes with me, and it changes right now. Tip number 3, I want you to get yourself some accountability. Accountability is so important. So whether that be go on Facebook, find a group that will support you. If it's working out, I have a group where we hold each other accountable for working out 5 times a week. If it's, I don't know, like changing, meditating, whatever, like get yourself some accountability. I have accountability systems on my wall where like I check things off, and I check in with my accountability groups where I text them in the morning. So I have accountabilities for gratitude. I have accountabilities for my goals that I need to reach every single day. And I get back to these people. You can build your own accountability group. Find your sister, your husband, someone in your life who's also ready to make changes and move their life forward. Just find, it can be as easy as like we text each other every single day, or we text each other every week. I would say do it more often than not. It takes about 30 days, 28 days for you to develop a new habit. And especially if you're trying to form a new habit, you're gonna have to provide consistency. So you've already made a decision, you've already done something, you've already scheduled something, you've already made a call, you've already purchased something that needed to be done, maybe you hired a coach. Now it's time to build accountability to make sure that you are going to follow through, not on somebody else's wishes, not on somebody else's dreams and goals and very important life, but on yours. And so I want you to set yourself up for success. So find yourself a Facebook group, create a group of your own, go on social media, go on Instagram, go whatever works for you, maybe not Snapchat because it'll disappear, and just make it public that I am committing to this thing. Right? So I have some goals for my coaching practice that I said, I just went to my accountability group and I said, all right guys, no more. I am committing to like this number. And then it's not, you first need to know the why. I want you to get really clear as to why things have to change. Why? And you already thought about that, right? You took it to the level 50. You were like, holy moly, if I don't change things right now, this is not pretty. It's painful. This has to change. So you already have a why. So after you have your why, then you take you take what you worked on and you define, well, what is it that I'm doing? What is it that I'm committed to? And we are using accountability systems to make sure that we commit to that thing and we actually take action on that thing. And then the last thing will be, there's a part of your brain that when we pay attention to a thing, whether this is an example from the UPW, so from Tony Robbins. So very quick, I want you to find everything in your room or in your environment as you're watching this video, everything that's red. Go, go, go. You have like 20 seconds, maybe less. Find everything that's red all around you. Ceiling, floor, people, everywhere. Find everything that's red. Great. Okay, now close your eyes and tell me everything that's yellow. Right, not quite. You can tell me all of the red things, but maybe not the yellow things. So why is this exercise relevant? It's relevant because once you decide this is the standard of living that I am committing to for myself, you are training your brain to look for those things. If you decide I am a person who focuses on gratitude and appreciates the beauty around me, guess what you're gonna find? You're gonna find beauty and things to be grateful for all around you. The world did not change, but your focus changed. Where focus goes, energy flows. And as you now have made a decision, I will no longer settle for whatever that situation was that got you frustrated. And you are saying, I am going to do blank, right? I am committing myself to this standard of living, this standard of showing up for myself and for my life. As you go through your day, as you go through your life, guess what's gonna show up? All of the hows of how you reach that decision that you've made. So I want you to get crystal clear on what it is that's important to you, why it's important, to make a decision of what it is that you are committed to having in your life. And then it's kind of amazing. Your brain just starts focusing, and this is just like a biological thing. Your brain starts focusing on all of the ways to make that happen for you, and you start getting hows. You don't need to know the how right now. You just need to know that this is what works for me. The next tip is I want you to visualize and know what it is that you want. This is probably, of this exercise and of this coaching video, this is the funnest part. I want you to close your eyes. If you're driving, please do not close your eyes. I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to do a few things. I want you to imagine what it's going to look like when things have changed. I want you to identify that gap. I want you to see where you are right now, and then really ignore the right now. I want you to take yourself to what it's going to look like when things have changed, when you're stepping up in a different way. And I want you to sometimes we, with these visualizations, and visualizations are super important, right? So Olympians do these. There's like so much science behind visualizations. When we do these visualizations, we imagine ourselves outside of the perspective. And what makes it most powerful is for you to be inside the perspective of who is living and experiencing this new world. So I want you to imagine it from your own body, your own eyes. I want you to breathe the way that you would breathe if you were this badass person who's excited about life, who's showing up in different ways, who's no longer willing to settle. I want you to breathe like that person. I want you to stand like that person. If you have the ability to, go ahead, close your eyes. You're in a safe environment. Close your eyes and stand like that person. I want you to stand with a certainty, and something happens in our physicality where we go from, just like walking around normal to where you're that badass that totally is in control of their life. Something happens and you lift your chest and you just show up completely differently. We're going to be talking more about this a little bit later. So I want you to breathe like that person. I want you to stand like that person. I want you to also think of the beliefs that this person, this badass who's just like showing up to life, they know what they want, they will not take no for an answer, they're showing up for themselves, they're doing the work, they're doing what needs to be done to no longer be frustrated. How does this person think? How does this person think about themselves? What sort of beliefs does this person have about themselves, their friends, the world? Does this person think, oh, poor me, everything happens to me? Or does this person think, F that, I make my destiny. Things do not happen to me, but for me. Whatever you throw my way, I am going to handle it, and more than that, right? So how does this person think? What are their beliefs? Do they believe that they aren't worthy, or do they believe absolutely my voice matters, my space, I am taking up space on this earth because I have so much to contribute here, right? So think about their beliefs, their physicality, how they stand, even how they breathe. How do we breathe when we're feeling really certain in ourselves? When we're no longer in that frustration space, but when we're like, yeah, this is going to be amazing. Our breathing changes, it slows down, it's deeper. It comes from our abdomen rather than from our chest breathing. So really think, what will that look like when I've accomplished that goal? When I've accomplished that dream? And I don't want you to be realistic. I want you to go for what you actually want. Let's stop being realistic. Let's stop being safe. Safety is not gonna get you the life that jazzes you up, that sets your soul on fire. I'm not saying it doesn't, we can't allow ease and flow and joy into our lives, but what I am saying is that we need to step outside our comfort zone. All growth comes from stepping outside of that comfort zone, and I want you to give yourself the gift to no longer settle for what you know you were made for more. And I want you to think of what does that look like? What is the day in the life of that person? What does it look like? Who's around you? What does your financial abundance look like? What does your career look like? What does your health, your body look like? So take some time, breathe again, the way that this person breathes. Really imagine, not just imagine, dude, get excited. This is what you're working towards. Get so excited about the ways you'll be able to contribute. Feel the joy in your body. There are ways that we move when we feel certain emotions. So let's go to the next tip. The next tip is for the next 30 days. I want you to be extra purposeful and extra aware of your body language and the way you hold your body. Now, we have trained ourselves. If I asked you right now, please stand the way that a depressed person or sad person would stand. How would you stand? Go ahead. Cool. How about stand the way that a frustrated person stands? And breathe the way that a frustrated person breathes. Right, so it's somebody who's sad, probably bring their head down, their voice is lowered, they're like trying to hide themselves, they slow down the rate at which they're speaking. Okay, now we're frustrated. Frustrated, you're like breathing from your chest, like your eyebrows do something weird. We maybe like raise our voices a little bit, but we're like, where do you feel the weight? When you're feeling frustrated, where do you feel the weight? For me, it's like my shoulders. Now, I want you to feel like you are overjoyed. You just got the most amazing news and you are super excited. What do? Alright, so I'm gonna demonstrate, right? You probably spread your arms up and my voice is louder and I speak louder and I make myself really big, not like when I was sad when I made myself small, but I'm making myself really big and I probably move my feet, especially if I'm super excited. If I just saw a friend that I haven't seen in decades, I might run up to them and I'm gonna like move my butt maybe. I'm gonna definitely be big and there's lots of energy here. You can train yourself to feel these feelings, people. We are making decisions. We are training ourselves in terms of the emotional states that we are bringing to our every single day. And you can have a decision. I made the video about your morning routine. You have the decision in terms of how you train your body, in terms of the emotional states that we show up with. And we can decide to show up frustrated and sad to every day of our lives. Or we can choose. It looks silly, but do it because it's so worth it. Just like wake up in the morning with a big smile and that tells your brain, hey brain, there's like, start looking for like good things that are going on because she's smiling, right? Like wake up, put on some music that makes you move and makes you feel good, make yourself big, make yourself, like take up space as you're walking through the day, bring that sort of energy to everywhere that you go. There's also the feeling of gratitude, right? Like how do you breathe when you're just so grateful for everything, all the blessings that you have in your life? Just take a moment for gratitude and for love. I want you to imagine everyone in your life that you just love to death. I want you to think of how grateful you are to have them in your life. How do you breathe? How do you feel? How do you hold your body? These are things we don't have to have a reason to have a good day. We don't have to have a reason to be in gratitude. We don't have to have a reason to walk down the street with a big old smile on our face, just like acting like it's the best day ever. No one knows you. And if they do, they're gonna be like, wow, she's having an amazing day. Train your body to experience the emotions that will get you out of this frustration state, right? And how are we going to make change happen in powerful ways? Is it going to be through this state where I'm sad and hiding myself and just I really don't feel certain about the world and just don't feel so good about myself and my beliefs? They're not that empowering. Or from this state where I'm like, bring it! I am gonna be like the most amazing blah, 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 that's important to you, right? Like, find the thing, train your body, train your emotions for the next 30 days. I want you to be extra purposeful with your body language. I want you to be extra purposeful. I want you to catch yourself. We all have a habitual place where we live in terms of our emotions. There are only so many emotions that most people feel, and so we need to have awareness of what our emotional states are, and then we need to be selective, and we need to choose what state do you want to be in, right? So a resourceful state. Well, how do you act? How do you breathe? What sort of beliefs do you have when you're in a resourceful state? You're like, sure, that happened, but I'm resourceful. I'm gonna make it work, right? So train yourself, catch yourself, think of what emotions do I consistently bring to my life, and what decision am I going to make in terms of the emotions, in the state and the physicality of how I choose to show up to my everyday. So the last thing, so those were all of our tips, is get excited. You now have these extra tools that are very powerful. You have thought about the future. You have thought about the future, not only that you're dreaming about and that you're thinking about, but that you have committed to now. You have visualized the gap of where you are and where you want to be. And I want you to think of strategically, work backwards. What decisions can I start making right now to get me from where I am to where I want to be? And again, I'm not the type of coach to ask you to be realistic. If you want to become a multimillionaire, I will be like, yes, yes, yes. Okay, that's the plan. This is the gap. How do we get you there, right? And so I want you to be aware of that. And then again, there's a part of your brain that once you've said, this is my goal, you're just gonna start focusing and you're gonna start finding all of these ways to make that thing happen. So get excited. You are no longer the person that's willing to settle. You are no longer the person that's showing up to life, just taking what comes to you. That you're waking up and like, oh, will this happen? And you're like, I spilled some coffee. There went my day. It's a terrible day. Oh my goodness. It's like the end of the world. Now you're like, woo, well, this is now in fashion. I look great, baby. Right? So we are going to choose our emotional states. We're going to be very aware of our physicality, of how we're breathing, our beliefs, how we're thinking. And you've made a decision. You made a decision. Not only did you make a decision, you decided to take action. You tell me. I want you guys in the comments. I want you to tell me what sort of action did you take. And I want it to be immediate. I don't want it to be tomorrow. I don't want it to be in 5 minutes. It should have been, I don't know how long this video went, but like should have been a while ago. I want you to tell me what action you took. And if we continue living our lives in this way, big things are happening. Big things like will change. There's an example that I love, and this is going to end very soon, the memory chip. So the 3 degrees of change. You're right here, and you just make 3 degrees of change. Right now, it's not gonna look like big of a difference, but if we continue going on and on and on, in the future, it's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. So baby, you're making some changes right now. Maybe it's 3 degrees, maybe it's more, but your life is changing because you are now in control of your life and you are deciding that I am the master of my past, my present, and my future. And I am so excited that you were frustrated because now you're on fire and you're gonna make some shit happen. So thank you guys for watching this video. I'm so honored that you're part of my community. I do have an exclusive Soul on Fire group on Facebook, which I'll have the link below. Join me. That's where you get like the goodies. I'm gonna have lives. So this is only once a week, but if you want more content, more motivation, more just like tools, join the group. And again, if you're looking for a badass coach that's gonna take you from where you are to where you wanna be and showing up in your life in the way that you wanna show up for yourself and your dreams, talk to me. I would be so honored to work with you. Well, have an amazing day, and I will catch you next week.